25. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sports Take, episode number 25, a very special holiday edition. My name is Johnny Redmond. I am your host for today. Below me, to the bottom right, is Mr. Jonathan Donnelly. How you doing today?
Awesome.
Yeah, you feeling very much in the holiday spirit right now? Better than 24?
Every day.
All right. Happy to hear it. To my bottom left is Mr. Joseph Gentile. How are you, Joe?
Good. How you doing, man?
I'm
Happy
good.
holidays.
Happy holidays to you as well. You doing anything fun?
Wrapping up school. I work at a high school, so the kids are on vacation next week. Getting some shopping done this weekend, and looking forward to the sports week. We got a lot of sports to talk about coming up this weekend and the next week.
Yes, we do. But before that, I want to introduce my last host. To my left, Mr. Nicholas Odell. Nick, have you done any of your Christmas shopping?
My Amazon cart is still full. I haven't hit the purchase button yet, but hopefully doing that tonight or tomorrow.
You guys got to do your Christmas shopping. It's going to be a very busy week. It's been a very busy week in sports. As Mr. Joe Gentile said, we're going to have to talk about it. But first, I want to talk about our interesting trivia fact of the day.
It's very interesting.
Did you guys know that Steve Young is I have to look at this, great grandson.
Three greats. Great grandson
of Brigham Young.
What?
Oh.
Yeah. Direct descendant.
Really?
Yeah.
I've actually heard that before.
So great grandson.
Yeah.
Great grandson.
So that's like, how many generations is that?
That is 1, 2.
It's not just 3 then.
5 generations.
Yeah. So that's
And then
5 generations.
Makes 6.
Because he went to BYU too, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, he went to BYU. I'm pretty sure he went to BYU.
So that brings up a question. Does he automatically get a scholarship since it's a legacy, or
I don't know.
they still offer him a football scholarship? Or
probably. I would think he would get something.
You know what? He must have said to the admissions board, "I'm the great grandson of Brigham Young." And
yeah.
Absolutely.
Was like, okay, we'll give you the
Yeah.
Oh, you absolutely put that in your resume.
That would be a very easy decision for the admissions committee. I can't imagine them going up to his list and application and going, Steve Young, he's the great grandson of the founder of this college. He's an athlete, great student.
He's royalty.
We'll waitlist him. Why not, right?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
That is interesting, though.
That is very interesting. Speaking of interesting, got a lot of news in the NFL. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. The New England Pats are struggling, as you guys know. The last week, Cam Newton's not really doing well. 270 yards over 3 games for passing. What's going on?
Our defense is okay. It's our offense that's terrible. We don't have a tight end. We don't really have receivers. We have a good, not great, better than okay running back. And our quarterback is terrible. So we're like the Eagles.
Like the Eagles.
We'll get to the Eagles, but
yeah, I mean, I think overall though, the Patriots, I mean, we have like a 6% chance or something for making the playoffs.
Which I want to touch about the playoffs here after you're done with Joe.
Which we won't make. It's nearly impossible to make playoffs.
Listen, we had a 99.9% chance of losing the Super Bowl against the Falcons, and Mr. Thomas Edward Brady still managed to win that one. Never say it's over, but it's almost over.
But there's a big difference between that game and this season. There's no Thomas Edward Brady.
I think it's between the Patriots and the Browns for making the playoffs. Like, if the Patriots make the playoffs and the Browns won't.
That's probably the worst thing I've ever heard in the past 10 years, that a playoff berth is between the Browns and the Patriots.
Yeah, because I think the Browns have like a 6th or 7th seed almost wrapped up at this point. Yeah. So they would pretty much have to lose every single game.
What do you think?
All right. Well, Joe, you mentioned a generic overview of how the Patriots have done over the past few games, but I want to point out, I screenshotted on my phone the playoff scenarios for the New England Patriots. Do you want to dive into that real quick?
Sure, and I'll tell you wins, losses real quick. Go ahead.
So how the Patriots can make the playoffs. So this was as of last Sunday.
Okay.
New England Patriots must win out against the Dolphins, the Bills, and the Jets.
They won't. There, you can already stop.
Yeah.
We'll say for
Not
instance,
going to beat the Dolphins. Not going to beat the Bills. He might beat the Jets, but
Go ahead. Go. Okay. So say we
That's
win
a
out.
toss-up now.
Okay.
we win out.
Say we win out. Go ahead.
it's like the
Miami
Pac-12
Dolphins-
championship game right there, which is played right now.
Go ahead.
Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins must lose 3 out of their last 4 against the Chiefs, which they already lost.
There's
The
one.
Patriots, the Raiders, and the Bills.
No.
They'll probably lose to the Bills, but I don't think they'll lose to the Raiders, and they'll beat the Patriots.
So for the record, though, for everyone watching at home, all this has to happen, not one or the other.
All right, do you
All
want me to
this has to
continue?
happen.
You want me to continue?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's see how long the list goes.
So after the Dolphins, the Raiders must lose 2 out of their last 4 against the
That's a-
Colts, which they already lost.
Which they lost last night too.
Which they
Okay.
lost to the Chargers last night, and they need to lose. That's so checked off a little bit
Yeah, so we're saying there's a chance.
because like their last 2 games are against the Dolphins and the Broncos. But anyhow, that's checked off.
Okay.
However, the Ravens, this is the concerning part. The Ravens must lose 2 out of their last 4, and their last 4 games came against the Browns, which they won. The Jaguars, the Giants, and the Bengals.
No,
not
not going to
gonna-
happen. They
Nope.
they have a very real shot of winning. If you're watching at home, make note of this. The Dolphins and the Raiders each have to lose a certain number of games, and they play each other. It
Yeah.
makes it that much harder.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Oh,
We're
Well,
officially in-
I just
Probably.
figured to entertain the viewers, like
Well,
No.
Joe Arvison, thank you for the comment. So you go, Cam sucks, and he's got the arm strength of a tooth fairy. So I mean, I don't know. I think we need a quarterback, obviously.
Yep.
And it's just a matter of do we draft him in April or whenever the draft is, or do we bring in a free agent? And
Just
I have a
pick
list
up
of,
Carson Wentz. He's good.
well,
Yeah,
that was
well-
discussion today about Carson Wentz. But I want real quick, maybe a minute or two. I just want to hear yes or no's from you guys. All right, for potential starting quarterbacks for the Patriots next year. Sam Darnold,
no.
no.
Yes.
Possible.
Andy Dalton,
No.
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 Cam Newton,
No.
Yes.
No.
Matt Ryan,
No.
Yes.
No.
Derek Carr,
No.
No.
He's too old.
No.
Tyrod Taylor.
Yes.
No.
This is a list. Philip Rivers.
No.
Maybe.
Possible.
Oh,
Mitch Trubisky.
Nick, I know you want him, but there's no way.
There's no way.
Mitch Trubisky.
No.
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 He won't even be in the league next year.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe.
Nick Mullins.
No. God,
No.
no.
Who?
Matthew Stafford.
Who?
No.
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with yes. It's possible.
Jameis Winston.
No.
No. Unless you want a lot of interceptions, New England.
Gardner Minshew.
Yes.
Nah.
Yeah.
Okay. There's only 3 more. Dwayne Haskins.
No.
No.
Yes. Really?
I would.
No.
I would go with him.
Alex Smith.
No. If
Yes.
he's healthy, yes.
I don't think he's on the right team, so it could be a whole different story if he's on the Patriots.
And Dak Prescott.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Well, definitely him.
Yep. So
Oh, yeah.
those quarterbacks were up for discussion today on another sports show. And I just thought it was an interesting list because all those quarterbacks could be available this upcoming spring in free agency, which
It's
would
gonna
be
be
very
huge
interesting.
market.
Yeah.
Huge quarterback class,
Huge
which
market.
Belichick has a lot of options in his back pocket if he so chooses to go there.
Right. Which I think they will go that way. I don't see him picking a quarterback in the first round and then him starting week 1. I just can't see it. He's never done.
Big signing.
So we'll see what happens.
We will see what happens. Eagles are kind of doing the same thing right now. They decided to
Big
go
time.
with Carson Wentz instead of Jalen Hurts. What do you guys think about that?
Reverse.
Actually,
Other way
no.
around.
The other way around. They went with
Oh.
Jalen Hurts.
Okay, well, they put Wentz on here.
Uh-oh. Let's fix the script.
The point of that was
That
whether
makes a
they're
lot more
keeping
sense.
Wentz after the
I've
end
been
of the
working.
season.
Okay, help me out here, guys.
Sorry.
The Eagles
point of that
decided
was
to go with Hurts, not Wentz.
that is true.
Oh, you're
But
asking. You're
the
asking.
point of what it
No.
is
No,
whether the Eagles are going to keep Wentz after the season. That's what that was.
I don't think they're going to keep Wentz. I think he's way too much money. And if
Yeah,
he's
but they already
benched-
paid him.
I know, but I don't know how you can keep that expensive of a backup quarterback. I don't know how you can.
But how's that?
They have done
that's
this
gonna
before,
ruin
though.
the salary cap.
They did it with Chase Daniel. But I agree with you. I'm just saying
I would shop him. You guys need help. You need different positions. I would try to make a trade.
Yeah, but do you really trust Hurts after just one game?
He did play well against the Saints. Saints were
He
the
did.
number one seed in the NFC. But yeah, you have to see more from him, obviously. And he's a rookie. He's got a lot of growing to do. But after one start, yeah, he's doing pretty good. But now you have 3 more games.
Yeah.
decision.
So what do you think with a QB that sits out for a while? I mean, they tend to do better when they sit for a game or two, and usually they come back and they play a lot better. I'm not saying Wentz is going to do that, but it's just seems to be a trend with a lot of teams over the years that you sit a quarterback because they suck, and then all of a sudden they come back and they're like, oh wow, they're actually playing not quite all the way to the potential, but they're played better.
I have never seen. Go ahead.
Even that statement in general makes it seem like, well, if he's not going to play at his full potential, why are we even keeping him? Because he's only going to go downhill from there.
True, but they paid him so much money, though. That's the thing.
I've never seen a team like the Eagles have as many QB controversies. When you look back at Wentz or Foles, or now Wentz and Hurts, and even McNabb and what was it, Jeff Garcia or somebody? It was.
I think so. Yeah.
I mean,
it was Kevin Cobb or whatever.
Kevin Cobb, like they've never got this right in like 20 years. They always have a good backup quarterback.
And Randall Cunningham.
Yeah, like it blows my mind that they can't get it figured out that a franchise quarterback, because you let Foles walk, who won you a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And now you're scrambling and you drafted Wentz second overall. And now Wentz looks like a bust, according to this year. Will he be back and bounce back? Maybe, but time will tell.
Yeah, it's hard to tell because it's going to come down to these last few games that if they decide to keep Hurts starting after the Cardinals game this weekend, I think that'll tell them whether they want to keep Wentz or not, or if they even want to entertain the thought of shopping him around.
Right.
But we have to wait till the end of the season before even talking about it, because one player, a rookie, by that means, playing good one game, it's almost like beginner's luck in a sense,
Right.
He did really well his first game. He's only played one game.
But it'll be interesting, though, because you guys are in the playoff hunt, which is unbelievable. But because that division is so bad that you guys are only like 2 games out of first place in the NFC East. So imagine he goes on a 3-game, 4-game winning streak and you guys make the playoffs, then Wentz is out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, hold on. Just because they make it to the playoffs doesn't really mean anything, because that whole NFC sucks. NFC East sucks. So him getting to the playoffs is just him getting to like 500, for the season.
Right.
Which isn't saying anything. They just so
Wentz
happen
get
to
you
be.
to the playoffs?
What?
Could Wentz get you to the playoffs, though?
Probably not. But the point I'm saying is that, like, they're in such a terrible division that getting the playoffs means absolutely nothing. What means something is if they win that first playoff game.
Right. And Joe Iverson had a good point. After Tua's first start, they didn't turn back. And Tua's been the starter since. He got benched, I believe, a second half against the Broncos for Fitzpatrick. But besides that, he started every snap.
Well, I think Tua's a different situation, too. And, I mean, honestly, Justin Herbert's in the same point, too. But Great point, Joe Iverson. I mean, if you really think about it, Jalen was drafted in the 3rd round, right? He was projected to, maybe be a career backup or, just maybe start, not really do a whole lot. I mean, Tua and Herbert are both projected to be starters. They're both projected to lead their teams eventually. So it's a little bit of an easier situation. However, I'm going to go to your earlier point about, if making it to the playoffs and then, finding success in the playoffs or, even fizzling out, just at least making it there.
Right.
Jim Plunkett, who was a career backup for the Raiders, led them to a Super Bowl win and then faded to obscurity again. And then Nick Foles, who was, he led the Eagles to the playoffs when Wentz was injured. He won the Super Bowl, made one of the greatest Super Bowl plays of all time. Sorry, guys. Except for Donnelly.
Thanks for bringing that up.
And then, the Eagles basically wrote him off. So it's very much possible that, Jalen Hurts starts these next 4 games. He wins 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 4. He leads the Eagles to the playoffs. I don't think they're going to get a win, or even if they do, I don't think they're even going to make it to the championship game.
No, they would probably play Seattle. Seattle's looking like the 5 seed. I don't think anybody wants to play Russell Wilson.
No. Well, I don't.
Well, I don't know. That's a different story. I don't think Seattle is exactly as good as they're showing up to be with those close games they've been having.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying though that he has playoff experience. If it's Wilson versus Hurts, I think everybody's going to go Wilson.
Yeah.
True. Everybody's going to be against the Eagles, no matter who they play.
Right.
Just because they're in the playoffs.
Everybody's going to be against the NFC East just because their division is so terrible. Whichever team really makes it to the playoffs is going to get scrutinized anyways.
Right.
Whether it be the Cowboys, whether it be the Washington football team, whether it be the Giants, or whether it be the Eagles. Nick, what do you?
So up in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Eagles are just, I would say a mess before Hurts stepped in. We touched upon, the quarterback controversy for the longest time with the Eagles, and I think that goes mostly to the front office and maybe even the ownership. To allow this to happen for the last 20 something years is incredible. Eagles always have this problem.
Right.
And, just a testament to, like I said, the front office and maybe even the ownership. It's a sad thing, but I'm hoping for you, Donnelly, I'm hoping that Hurts could put an end to the Eagles QB controversy. I don't know. Just my theory.
I just don't see $100 million backup quarterback. I just don't see Wentz on the bench.
Yeah, no, Joe, I agree with you. And, it's just, but where's Carson Wentz going to go with that huge contract? That's the thing. Philly's
Pats have money. Pats have money, and we need a quarterback.
So, hang on. You would rather see Carson Wentz in a Patriots uniform?
Then where? In our division to go to Jets? Take that chance?
Why, you think Carson Wentz is still a good quarterback?
With the right coaching, with the right offensive line. He was drafted number 2 overall.
Cam Newton, though. People are making the same exact argument about Cam Newton.
Cam's gone after this year. Cam's gone. We can't bring him back. He can't throw a touchdown pass. We need passing. He's a running quarterback, and that's it. And that won't get it done in the season. And it showed. He's 6-7 now.
Wentz just needs an offensive line and receivers that can catch.
Right.
That's his biggest problems.
If we can make a trade with the Eagles, I think we have the cap room. And with Belichick as the coach compared to Peterson, no offense to Peterson, because yes, he did beat Belichick in the Super Bowl. But I think with the right coaching, with the right offensive line, which the Pats have a better offensive line than the Eagles do.
Yeah, no question.
I think he could do something in New England. I'm not saying I want him as top option because we just gave the rundown of all the quarterbacks that could be available. And there's a lot more different options out there. But to have a second overall pick quarterback on your team, he was only drafted a few years ago. He's still young.
This is his 5th season, I believe.
I would take a flyer on him. I would say, hey, come to New England, learn the playbook, and see what happens. Is he better than Cam Newton right now? I would say yeah.
Well, it's hard to say that with the situation he's in and the team that he's on. But there's there's potential other places. I know that. Unless
Right.
the Eagles can do something and make their line work
Right.
and make their receivers get open. And, well, when they are open, actually catch the ball for once.
Right.
You know? And
So, I don't know.
I don't think that's necessarily Cam's problem, though. And I think that would be the only reason that he ends up staying. You know,
Is what?
he is a guy, when he doesn't have any options in the air, will automatically go to his run game, which is fine. But the problem with Cam Newton is that for years he's heavily relied on it, which has led to injuries, which has led to missed opportunities,
Right.
which leads to him not really being risky, right? Like he started off in his career being a little bit riskier, but now he's kind of transitioned more into being like, oh, well, I'm getting, 500 yards a year. I'm getting 1,000 yards a year on the ground.
Which that's never been Belichick's system, though.
Yeah.
He's never had a running quarterback, even as backups.
And part of the problem that it's like a double-edged sword for Cam. If he runs, he's not really going to gain a whole lot of ground, and people are going to say, well, why are you running? Throw your receivers. But then his receivers, I mean, you have Jameer Byrd, and you kind of have Gunnar Olszewski, or
Jacoby Myers.
I'm forgetting his name right now.
Right. A lot of receivers are bad on New England. I'm not doubting that. Joe Iverson just said the Patriots number 1 is a number 3 on a lot of other teams.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely right. We don't have any receivers. N'Keal Harry's a bust. I'm calling it now. It's only been 2 seasons, but he's a bust. N'Keal Harry's trainer came out and called out Cam Newton. He's like, oh, he's not getting me the ball. This is why my numbers are bad. Why N'Keal Harry's numbers are down. No, it's not. That's not the reason. No, don't have your trainer come out and back you and bash the quarterback. That's a terrible look.
Yeah.
But the fact is, yes, do we need receivers? Obviously. But Cam, this was his tryout this year. He could have been the next franchise quarterback for us. But because he can't throw even 2 touchdowns in a game, and I remember one play, I think it was Arizona, when they were first and goal from the 2-yard line, they ran it 4 straight plays and got stopped.
Yeah.
You cannot run it 4 straight. That's not Josh McDaniel's system.
And it's not even like the Cardinals line was even really good. It's just that
Right.
they expected it.
Yep.
So they kept blitzing.
Well, last point, because we got to move on. Look at the Seattle game early on in the year. Nick, you were watching the game with me.
Yeah.
We all knew at the end of the game against Seattle, Cam was going to try to run it in the end zone. And what did Seattle do? Stop him at the goal line, and they won the game.
Yeah, that was supposed to be our moral win of the season.
Yeah. No moral victories. Yeah. There's no moral wins in the NFL.
No.
Nope. I don't believe that. But we digress. And I think we'll move on. Johnny, I know the next topic in the script is the Eagles Cardinals, but I think we should wait to just give our game picks next when we do pick them.
Yeah.
There is one more thing that I do want to talk about in NFL. One more topic. Then we can get to college football, and we're going to try to go through these really quickly. I think I'm going to cut us off in about 15, 20 minutes, but I do want to talk about the possible 17-game season coming up in 2021 and interconference playoff format where the first seed plays the first seed and so on. I mean, what do you guys think about it real quick?
Love it.
I like it.
Love
it's
it.
Great
Absolutely
seeing the top teams play the top teams. Not to dive too much into college football, but it's good to see good teams play other good teams to actually have good games to see how they do.
That is the only thing that I don't like. Just because, I mean, let's say you trudge through the season, you have the hardest schedule. You go 14-2 or 13-3. You get the number 1 seed, then you have to play an extremely tough opponent right off the bat. That doesn't really make sense.
And also too is that so say for instance one, what I'm getting at is that 1 plays 1, 2 plays 2.
I don't think this is for the playoff spot, though. I think this is regular season.
Oh, just week 17. It was just a random week in the season.
This isn't playoffs.
A playoff preview.
This is basically saying that each division plays an interconference division, and each team plays each of those teams once throughout the season. Well, now you have a 5th interconference game. And what they're doing is taking the first seed from that division to play the first team of the other division from each.
So like
conference.
each seven, it's like this like.
So it's like saying the NFC South is going to play the AFC West, and the number one seed in that division is playing the number one seed of the other division for their fifth interconference game. Because normally you only have 4. Each team plays one. Each team 4 times.
I don't
now
mind
you have
it.
that 5th game.
Hey,
It doesn't have anything to do with playoffs.
Now that I understand that fully, I don't like. I think that's.
I like the
that's
idea.
a great idea. So.
It certainly could drive up rankings, but and unless you're any team except for the NFC East, I mean, it's a pretty good idea.
Well, maybe next year the NFC East might actually show some worth.
Yeah.
Have some teams that are above 500 after week 3.
How many quarterbacks are going to get injured next year?
Only 7 or 8 instead of like the 15 this year.
You can go with the 3rd string.
No, we're gonna go with the 5th string, who's the backup tight end.
Yeah. Out of
Practice squad player.
Out of Western State.
Exactly.
Or Idaho State. All right, let's move on to college football. There's really only a couple topics here. We'll breeze through them quickly, though. I mean, you guys heard about Florida's big loss to LSU, right?
That was
big
huge.
loss. That was
You're out of the
Florida
playoff.
was really on their way to moving up the ranks, and LSU was moving way down the ranks.
I know LSU lost a lot of starters this year, but they still had a pretty good team. They've been a huge disappointment, but they still showed their legitimate program by beating Florida.
that was a big win in the swamp to kind of dash the hopes of the playoffs for Florida. Even if Florida beats Alabama tomorrow, I don't think Florida gets in.
Which is not going to happen.
Because Alabama's still going to stay in the playoffs, even with one loss. I mean,
they're playing with house money.
Yeah.
They're 10-0.
And you know what, too? I probably would have called Florida over Alabama, not because Florida is the better team, but just because if they had gotten a big win against LSU, which, I mean, they could have really needed, I mean, I think that could have been just enough motivation to beat this strong Alabama team. But
Alabama looks really good this year, and nobody's talking about them. They've been number 1 this basically the entire year, and nobody's really talking about Alabama.
Well, no one wants to talk about them because they just know that they're good. And like Peter Gilbert says, college football is rigged, and that's why they're number 1.
Yeah, Peter, right on the nose.
Joe Iverson just said Florida is still ranked above Cincinnati, even with the loss. They only fell 1 spot,
which is insane.
I don't understand. You lost to an unranked team at home, and you only fall 1 spot. I don't understand the rankings. That one really blew my mind.
See, this
Georgia
is why
lost to a ranked team, and they dropped like 6 ranking points. They got knocked out of even the top 10. Like, not only did they get knocked out of the top 5, they went to like number 12, I think it was.
And that's why people are steering away from college football, is because the rankings are so inconsistent.
This is
and no teams play good teams.
Or they're so consistently favored towards Power 5 teams. Like, all of the best teams come from Power 5 programs, which is just not the case anymore. I mean, you have teams out of the Mountain West who are good. You have teams, out of other conferences that I'm forgetting about right now who are good. But, it's not like they're the AAC. I mean, like, you have more than one good conference. And
Power
all
5.
those conferences have at least 2 good teams. But you're not even.
It's just like what happened with Ohio State, being allowed to, get in to the conference finals because, it's a money thing. It had nothing to do with anything else. They were about to lose billions of dollars because Ohio State wasn't going to be in the conference championship against Northwestern, which is stupid. I know that the number that they chose for like how many games you have to play is just an arbitrary number. Like, whatever, like, you have to have some kind of limit, but still, that's the rules. You got to follow those. And even though that you decided not to play the first like 5 games of the season, doesn't mean that you get exempt from it just because you're going to lose millions. That's your problem for, deciding not to play the first 5 games.
I mentioned this on the last show. I'm going to mention this on this show. All right. And this has to do with Ohio State a little bit. I love Justin Fields, but the fact that Texas A&M only has 1 loss this year and they have the hardest schedule every single year they have the hardest schedule by far. And they have never been a serious playoff contender. The fact that they're sitting at number 5 right now
For the past few weeks. They've been number 5 for the past few weeks. They haven't moved.
Over Ohio State, who gets a levy to get into the Big Ten Conference Championship, and over Clemson, who lost.
Yep.
Who has an easier schedule.
Go ahead, Nick. Go ahead.
Listen, I'm so fired up on this. Big Ten really messed up here. Big Ten, oh my God. It's like, it just angers me. I know it's the money, but it shouldn't be about that. Like,
that's
come
the
on,
problem.
man.
That's why Pete was right. The college football is rigged because it's all about money. So all the big name teams that we obviously see every year in the top like 6 spots every year are always there. And it's never changing because they don't play each other. They don't play big name teams to potentially get losses. So you have, Alabama and Clemson and Ohio State that go undefeated almost every year, except occasionally a one loss. But they're always going to be in the playoffs.
How about this?
It's ridiculous.
How about this? If Ohio State goes on to win the national championship this year, I am never watching a Big Ten game again.
A Big Ten.
A lot of bowl stadiums. I don't know if that's true. You're never gonna watch. You're never gonna watch Maryland. You're never gonna watch Michigan.
That was pretty funny, Nick.
Minnesota.
I thought you were going to say I'm never watching college football again. Nope.
That's what I thought. Like, that makes a lot more sense.
Joe Iverson brought up a good point, though. Cincinnati dropped the spot the last 2 weeks without even playing a game, and they're 8-0. Like, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Really doesn't. The system is flawed.
Yeah, it just goes back to they just want money. So all the big name teams that make the most money are always going to be in the top 5. They're always going to be in the championship.
It's true.
Now, if we could just bring it to like an 8-game, playoff picture, maybe that wouldn't happen. Maybe someone will finally knock Alabama out of the playoffs.
It's unfortunate for the teams that aren't in the Power 5, such as Cincinnati, such as Coastal Carolina. They don't get a shot.
You know what?
It just sucks for all the other conferences that have a top team. I mean, realistically, the college playoffs should be maybe like the top teams in every conference rather than having a group of people would be like, oh, I think this team is the best. I think that team is the best. It should be in. Like, no, you base it off of the fact that you won your conference and they all play each other for the championship.
So here's my proposal, right? The 5 power conferences all get an automatic bid, right?
Yep.
Consideration for the AAC and the Mountain West, like the mid-majors, right? Yep. The rest of the 9 are all at large, but
16 team playoff.
I would give it 14. I would give the top 2 seeds a bye.
I'm good with that.
Or kind of like the NFL, where you just have like a playoff punt that you work your way into it. You don't necessarily get an automatic bid.
Look how
just
successful.
By winning a championship.
Look. March Madness gets it right. Now, I'm not saying have 68 teams like March Madness, but they get it right, that they have enough sample size and they're not kind of nitpicking on strength of schedule versus who you play versus bad loss, good loss. Like you can't nitpick like that.
The thing
That's great to see when that 16 seed teams knocks off the number 1 seed in the first game of the bracket.
Right.
University of Maryland, Baltimore County, baby.
And the thing that college basketball, the thing that differentiates it from college football so much is that the rankings and the bracketology is so consistent every single year with, who teams beat or how good they are based on strength of schedule, which conference they come from. I mean, and it's so much more complicated than college football too.
And it varies so much too.
I know it's hard.
It's not the same teams every single year either.
College
There's
football,
always new teams.
College football, though, needs to get this right because they are losing fans. The fans down south, you see the Alabama fans, you see Florida, the SEC in general, they're fine. That's college football is in their blood. And you
They're
see
just going to go there for the sake of it.
Yeah, Big 12, same thing. Big 10, same thing. The Power 5. But the ACC, you look at Boston College, you look at Duke, you look at these programs that aren't very good in college football, but yet they go for the college basketball experience. But you need more than 4 teams. You have over 100 D1 schools. You're narrowing it down to 4 after playing weeks of competition. It doesn't work.
Yeah. And teams like Boise State and TCU and UCF and even Hawaii a few years ago, I mean, they're all getting the shaft.
Yeah.
But you got to bring in those random teams in there once in a while just to make it fun and interesting. Who knows? Maybe Hawaii could have made it through and made it to the championship.
And that's not to say either that even like a MAC winner, the winner of the MAC division, the MAC conference, I mean, is going to beat most Power 5 teams.
Right.
I wouldn't do a division winner from every single conference, but like give the Power 5 their due consideration and then make it at large. Make it based on the teams that are actually deserving of being there.
Imagine if the NFL did this, and then we can move on, because the Eagles or the NFC East winner would not be in the playoffs if we had rankings.
Because they wouldn't be the Power 5 or the Power.
They would get in because they're power, because they're in the Power Conference.
Yeah.
That's the only reason, because their name, and that's not right. You're messing with kids who have scholarships, who are leaning on this for futures potentially, and you're basing it on a committee of 13 people and their majority vote.
Yeah,
I mean that's all it is.
Ridiculous.
So it's too bad. It's too bad.
I think going back to college football's heyday with the BCS was a joke. The college football playoff was a joke. Like what's next? Like they still haven't got it right.
They're getting better. We can all agree they're getting better, but it's a slow process.
Way too slow.
Not enough progress is being made.
Yeah.
No. I mean, there's a lot of talks, which is great, but nothing to show for it.
Right.
I think we're gonna have to move on from here, just because we could talk about college football forever. We could talk about the Patriots forever, but we still got a lot to cover. I do want to talk a little bit about the NBA season preview. Tyrese Maxey for the 76ers. He's looking like a really good prospect, Donnelly. Any thoughts on him?
I don't know. I mean, I like seeing what the Sixers did in the offseason. It sounds really good, but that's the thing with Philly is everything sounds really good until they start playing, and then it's not so good.
Yeah.
So it really depends on Embiid and the other guy's name, I'm drawing a blank.
Simmons.
Simmons. It really comes down to them, because they need to play together. They need to have some chemistry, and that way the rest of the team and the players that picked up can also play well together. Because if they don't play well together, it just kind of throws the whole thing off, which is what we saw last season, which is why they tanked in the playoffs.
Well,
it's just like it was terrible.
Embiid is the star, but Simmons wants to be the star. Everybody's vying for a starting position. Nobody's happy because, they get 15, 20 minutes a game. They should be getting close to 30. I mean, it's just, it's a mess in Philly, but I mean.
It is, but I like these new players. Maybe it'll breathe new life into them, and maybe they might actually work together, or at least, even if they don't quite work together, maybe these other players will pick up their slack. I don't remember his name, but we got some good shooters, which is something we've been slacking on, especially from the 3-point line. That's been a very, very difficult problem for us, and so it's nice to hopefully see somebody that can actually shoot.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited for the NBA season as a whole. I didn't think the offseason was long enough for the teams that played in the bubble. I think the Lakers, for instance, they won the championship. They've only had 70 something days off, which is the shortest offseason in any sport ever. So I think they, as much as we love basketball and NBA on ESPN and ABC on Christmas Day, like I love watching NBA on Christmas, but this year's a little bit different. And I think they could have used another month rest and start in January. but that's just me. And because I think you're going to see a lot of stars sit out early on in the year, which is too bad. But yes, there's no fans in the crowd, so people aren't buying tickets because they want to see the stars play. So that doesn't play a factor. But there are a lot of big storylines going into the season. Giannis just signed a 5-year max deal. Steph Curry's back. Washington and Houston made a big trade. The Celtics, how are they going to rebound from, no pun intended, from an Eastern Conference Finals loss? Thank you. Miami Heat, nobody's talking about them. They're Eastern Conference Finals champs of last year. And the Lakers, will they repeat? Or will the Clippers actually step up? So a lot of storylines looking forward to. I think the Lakers are going to win it again this year, and I hate to say that, but they're the overall favorites. If anything, they got better in the offseason, which is scary for the players that they picked up, like Schroeder and a couple other players.
Yeah.
From the East is wide open. And I think that's why I'm a little worried as a Celtics fan, because I think their window may have closed just a little bit, because Brooklyn is full strength with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Miami, they gelled. This is Jimmy Butler's second year now in the system. And, Washington got a little better after the Russell Westbrook trade. So in Milwaukee with Giannis isn't going anywhere for 5 years now. I don't know, but it'll be interesting. Celtics didn't really get better. As a Celtics fan, they didn't sign anybody big name. They got the best shooter supposedly in the draft. Cool. But let's see what he does in the NBA. I don't know, Nick. I mean, what do you think? What are you most looking forward to?
Yeah, I mean, Joey, I'm sure you touched up on a pretty good amount of points there. My concern is that, yes, we get ourselves excited for another Celtics year, with the same core talent that we had last year, but are we gonna the question is, are we gonna get let down again this year? We expect
Probably.
We expect the Celtics to go into a deep playoff run and maybe win the NBA Finals. Well, they did that last year, and we were hoping, God forbid, for a Celtics-Lakers Finals and the Celtics would prevail.
Nope.
But it didn't happen. So, me as a Celtics fan, I just don't want to get let down again. But I feel like that's going to be the case this year.
You realize we've been getting let down for 12 years? I mean, let's be real here. I mean,
right.
Even 2010 finals, we lost in a game 7 to the Lakers. Yeah. I mean, that's the closest we've been in 12 years.
And now we're tied with the Lakers.
Right.
For most championships in the NBA history.
I mean, Johnny, any thoughts?
I mean, as a Celtics fan, I'm worried. The East is not nearly as strong as most of the teams in the West. I mean, even if the Celtics do make it to the finals, let's say that the Lakers don't, they might have to play the Nuggets. They might have to play, a formidable Rockets team. Right. They might have to play the Spurs. I mean, I just don't see the Celtics beating a lot of teams out of the West. And they haven't gotten any better. They haven't addressed the issues that they're supposed to address this year, which only makes it harder. I mean, it doesn't matter how good Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are. You need to build a complete system in order to win. The Lakers have done that. They figured out what problems they had last year, and they fixed those problems. They're going to be almost unstoppable. Right. And that is scary for the Celtics. Yeah. Because they just have to make it out of the East. And
it'll be tough.
And it's tough, watching them lose to the Heat, a very vulnerable Heat team, but it shows just how good, it just shows how good other teams are compared to the Celtics.
Right, exactly. And Celtics fans, we've wanted a center for a while. We haven't had that big guy in a while. Now we have, Daniel Tice, right? And we have Robert Williams. They need to step up. We've been saying that for a while now. We have the shooters. Fine, great. But we need that big guy. You see Giannis, you see Wiseman getting drafted number 2 to Golden State. You see these big guys developing over, throughout the league, even a Bayou down in Miami. He torched us last year in the playoffs. And I'm worried as a Celtics fan. Are we going to make a deal maybe at the trade deadline? Are we, I don't know. because the East is so stacked, because of new names like Kevin Durant. He's never played in the East before. So now he gets a chance with Kyrie Irving in Brooklyn. All of a sudden, Brooklyn's a playoff team, a higher seed. They were a playoff team last year, but they didn't really do much. Now they're stacked, and a lot of people are picking the LA Lakers and Brooklyn. Go figure in the NBA Finals. So I don't know. Maybe Philly. Philly makes some noise. Philly's always up in there now with Doc Rivers. It's wide open this year, and that's what's nice. It's not super teams like the Miami Heat of 2010. Heat with LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh were going to win or be in the finals. So it's at least it's a little more diverse throughout the country with different teams that could be representing in the NBA Finals.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. The season hasn't even started yet, but I mean, based off of what I've seen so far in the preseason, it's not looking very hopeful.
Well, what's the score of the C's right now? Any live updates?
It was like 62-44 at the end of at halftime, Brooklyn.
Oh, right now it's Nets 78-60 third quarter.
Yeah, it's not good.
So we're down 18.
It's the Brooklyn Nets. I don't care if they have Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. They're still the Nets.
Yep.
And
Nets will be Nets.
Yeah.
Joe Arbison said Taco Fall, and I guess that's all we need is Taco Fall.
You know what? People are so quick to blame Taco Fall. He was never really projected to be anything.
Yeah. He's ginormous, though. He's what, 7'5"? Something like that?
Yeah, he's just only in there for the height.
He's never going to be a quality NBA starter.
He's such a fan favorite, though. The fans love him.
Yeah. Yeah. He's great. He's definitely marketable, which I think is good for the NBA, but he's never going to be, a superstar. He's never even going to be a starter.
Right, exactly. And I think the fact that Taco gets a playing time as he should because of his height, but if he can develop a little bit more, he could be a solid center.
Yeah.
He just has to work on his shooting.
Yeah, but he's not the big man answer that we're looking for either. I was just going to say, I want to bring up one quick point, that you mentioned earlier. We do have Daniel Tice. We do have Robert Williams, which is great. We have two quality guys there who could be formidable backups. But the problem is that we don't have a starter that we can plug in there for 20 to 30 minutes. We have two guys who can come in and play 15 minutes in a game, right? And then we're just screwed. I mean, we saw that against the Heat. Daniel Tice was playing well. Robert Williams was, playing well defensively.
Yep.
And then towards the end, I mean, it just fell apart. They were tired out, and they were exposed. We need a guy who's going. The Celtics need a guy who's going to be a consistent big man for 25, 30 minutes a game, almost every single game.
When you said here's a guy, I thought of Chris Collinsworth, but carry on.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
Speaking of Chris Collinsworth, I think it's time for us to make our pick'ems this week.
Sounds good. I got the schedule right in front of me, and to start off, the last night's game, LA versus LV. We all picked LV. Whoops, because Chargers won in overtime, 30-27. So we didn't pick very well on that one.
No, not at all.
It is what it is, though. We don't get everything right. But Donnelly, update the people on the standings.
Yeah.
All right. So nothing changed from last night because we all sucked and didn't get a win.
Yep.
So as always, Johnny's still in last with 77 points and a 48% winning. That's your grade.
Yeah.
In second place, we have Joe with 87 points.
Oh, yikes.
Have a 55 going through.
It's still failing.
With
Still failing.
3 more weeks basically left.
Yikes. I got to make some noise. Okay.
In tied for first is me and Nick with 89 points.
Okay. I'm only 2 back. Okay.
We both have a 56 for the year so far.
Okay.
So
I'm pretty close.
We'll see if we can push into a not a failing grade for this season. We're only down 4 points.
Johnny, you need to make some noise.
Yeah. So basically, it's 2016, and Donnelly is the St. Louis Cardinals. Nick is the Chicago Cubs. You are the Milwaukee Brewers, and I am the Pittsburgh Pirates.
No, you're the Cincinnati Reds.
Oh, well.
And that's out of 158 games so
Yikes.
far this.
We are
this
not
season.
very good.
No. 89 out of 158, not so great.
So if anyone wants,
we're better than some guys. I've seen some of them. I've seen some of the professionals go 3-6 before in a week.
Yeah. Hey, do we want to make this a little more interesting with the last 3 weeks of the season and playoffs?
How so?
So if you want a lock of the week and the lock wins, it's 5 points. If you're wrong, it's -2.
Old radio show rules. How about that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Forgot about that.
You want to do lock?
Remember that?
You want to do locks?
I was not around.
Sure.
All right, everybody gets one lock. Should have started this from the beginning, but you know what? We'll do it next season. But so you get one lock. If you get it right, it's 5 points. You get it wrong, -2.
Okay.
So,
How about can we play Mario Party rules where we get chump charity?
you want a mini game at the end?
Yes, please. Can you do chump charity for me, please?
We count the playoffs, and that's your chump charity.
I'm not totally.
Here's the thing.
borderline,
And here's the
but-
thing: no two people can pick the same lock game. How about that? Makes it a little more
Right.
fun.
Okay.
So
It's been a
yeah,
long time since we did this.
I know. Going back to the radio days. So, 2 games on Saturday. We got Saturday night football. We have the Buffalo Bills at the Denver Broncos.
A 4:30 game.
Yes.
give me the Bills in that game.
Okay.
I will also take the Bills.
Yeah, I think I got Bills.
Yeah, that seems to be the one.
Yeah. Nobody wants the island, huh? Nobody wants Denver.
Nope.
No.
Next,
Can't take the
Carolina,
island anymore. I have to-
Carolina at Green Bay, 8:15. Saturday
Bay.
night.
We all taking Green Bay.
Yeah, they're the number 1 seed in the NFC. I'll pick
And-
Yeah,
Green
give me
Bay.
Green Bay.
Adams is just on a roll
Yeah,
this
he is.
year. He is just dominating.
He's got 8 straight games with a touchdown catch.
I thought it
That's
was 9.
I think he's going for 9.
Okay. Good thing he's on my fantasy team.
Yeah. It's goodness for me too. Thanks, Nick.
So we're all in Green Bay.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
Next, Tampa Bay at Atlanta.
This could probably go either way.
You know,
But-
give me the Bucks because the Falcons might choke again.
Like they have been all season.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay as well.
I'm gonna go with Atlanta, just because they're playing at home.
And just because you need the points, Johnny.
You know what? Honestly, I think Tampa Bay is the more formidable team here, but I mean, playing in Mercedes-Benz Superdome, I think makes a little bit of difference.
Do you mean Mercedes-Benz
I have
Stadium?
to calculate a risk. I'm not going to go for Carolina and Carolina, Green Bay, but I will go for Atlanta and Tampa Bay, Atlanta, because I'm going to take calculated risks.
So far, and thank you, Joe Arvison, for playing along too. He's got Buffalo and Green Bay so far. I see his comments. I'll go Tampa. I'll go Tampa too, but I could see Atlanta maybe pulling the upset, but I don't have confidence in Atlanta.
I'll stay on the island.
Okay. You want it to be your lock, Johnny?
No. I'm not that confident.
Okay. Next up, San Francisco at the Dallas Cowboys. This Sunday night game was supposed to be Sunday night. They got bumped for Cleveland and Giants.
Oh, wow. What a great game. that
49ers and
was.
Cowboys, huh? Oh God.
Just one
Boy,
thing. Joe Arvison went with Atlanta. Not to go back, but
Yep.
My man, Joe Arvison.
yeah. So, but San Fran and Dallas, boy, have the mighty have fallen.
I don't even know how to go with this because San Fran's been doing terrible lately. Past
Yeah.
couple
Give
games.
me-
I'm not really sure how this is gonna go.
Give me them boys.
They're last. They're last in the NFC East. The Cowboys.
I don't know. I think as much as the San Fran has struggled, even with terrible teams, I still think I'm gonna have to go with San Fran on this one.
I'll go San Fran.
Only because like I know they played Washington and they lost to them, but it wasn't a terrible loss as
Right.
far as points go. So I think they can pull it off against Dallas.
I'm gonna go with San Fran too, but it's not gonna be a very high scoring game. It's gonna be
No, it won't.
So
Yeah.
I'm on the island.
And
I picked the boys.
next up, Detroit at Tennessee.
Give me the Titans in this game.
Okay.
Titans are playing at home. It's not my lock, but it is a lock.
Donnelly?
What did you choose?
Detroit at Tennessee. No, what's your pick? I haven't chosen yet.
No, Johnny, didn't you choose?
He
Is
picked
this what's
Tennessee.
been going on? You've been writing down my picks all wrong this year.
No, so he
I'm asking.
I need to
Nick
get 10 points right now. I am calling shenanigans.
Nick and Johnny both picked Tennessee.
Okay. I am also picking Tennessee on this one.
I'll go Tennessee. Oh, that'll be my lock. I'll go Tennessee, my lock.
That's your lock? Okay.
That's fine. Or that's your lock.
Yeah.
Now I really hope Detroit wins this game.
And we're all on Tennessee. So if anything, I take the biggest hit because we're all on Tennessee. Next up, Houston at Indy.
Give me
the Colts.
I'm gonna go with Houston.
Houston's a scrappy team. Houston,
they're weird.
they have Watson. They just don't give up. Like they're not in contention for playoffs or anything, but they always put up a good fight.
well, Fuller's out, but
Yeah.
Indy hasn't been playing very well recently. I
So
don't
you
think
got
they're playing
Houston?
terribly, but
You want Houston?
I'm gonna go with Houston.
I'll go Indy for the split. Indy's at home.
Interesting.
So we're on a split with that one. Next up, Patriots at Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Really? You're quick on that one.
Yeah.
I'm hoping the Patriots, but you know what? Dolphins.
Patriots always struggle against the Dolphins, and they're even worse now.
Yeah, I'm going
So
with
Johnny's
the
got
Dolphins.
Dolphins. You both got Dolphins. Okay, Donnelly. Who do you got?
Donnelly, you're muted. Dolphin Lee.
There you go.
There we go. I'm gonna go with Miami, but you guys are gonna have to repeat what you said because I
Gonna hear.
was
Nick's on
distracted.
Dolphins. Johnny's on Dolphins. You're on
That's it.
Dolphins. You're all on the Dolphins, huh?
No, the Dolphins.
And so are you.
No.
Why don't you make this lock of the week?
No, because it's not a lock.
He already made his lock.
I already made my lock.
You could switch it.
No, I'm feeling better about Tennessee than I am New England. Nope. I'm going with the Pats, though. I think to spoil their season, they're going for playoffs, just like they did to us week 17 last year.
I'm making my lock the Green Bay game.
Ooh, wait, don't preview the. Oh,
Nope.
You want to go back to Green Bay? Because they're playing Saturday. You want Green Bay?
Yeah, I'm gonna make that my lock.
Okay. Green Bay is off the market for a lock. Donnelly takes them as a lock. I took Tennessee as a lock. Johnny and Nick still have theirs available.
Mm.
Next up, I'm the guy on the island with the Patriots. Okay. Next up, Chicago at Minnesota.
Give me.
So I really don't like any of these other matchups coming up for locks. So
That's why I grabbed. That's why I grabbed Tennessee.
That's why I grabbed Green Bay. I had to.
Hey, so real quick update too, Joe Arvison. I've been seeing the rundown, the schedule, so I haven't seen your comments, but he's got Atlanta. I have to go back and forth now. He's got Atlanta over Tampa. He's got Cowboys over San Francisco. He's got Tennessee over the Lions, and he goes no Matt Stafford, so I have a good lock in Tennessee. Indy over Houston, Miami over the Patriots, and Minnesota over the Chicago Bears. So right now we're at Chi-Town at Minnesota.
I'm going with the Vikings.
I'm gonna go with Minnesota.
School, baby.
You're going with the
Like-
Vikings?
Vikings,
Cool,
Johnny.
baby.
Johnny, what's yours?
I'm going Minnesota.
Minnesota. I'll go Minnesota.
I'm gonna go Minnesota.
Okay. Anybody want it as a lock? Nick, Johnny?
I
Okay.
think I'm gonna lock the Buffalo game, but we'll see later on.
Okay. Next up, Seattle, Washington at Washington, D.C.
What? Oh.
Yeah, the Washington Bowl. So you got Seahawks at football team.
Shall I do it?
You always do, Nick.
Give me the Seahawks.
Give me the team from Washington.
Oh boy.
I see what you did there.
I'm gonna go.
This is why he's losing this year.
No,
So-
Johnny said the Seahawks.
I'm going with Seattle.
Seahawks.
I'm gonna go with Seahawks.
You know what? I'm saying this right now. I just said Seattle. Check the tapes. Check them all. Check them.
I heard Washington. That's all I heard.
And I said Seahawks, so.
I'll go
Are you
Seattle.
going with the,
All the tapes. There's no way I'm losing by 10. I haven't made that
are
many.
you going with Seattle on this one?
Everybody's on Seattle.
Yeah, everybody's
Okay.
on Seattle.
Everybody's on. All right, here's a lock. Here's a potential lock for one of you. Jacksonville
Maybe.
at Baltimore.
Give me the Ravens.
Are you gonna do it, Nick?
Lock it in, baby.
Oh, he's going lock.
boy.
He's going lock. Let's go Jacksonville. Go ahead, Johnny. Who you got?
I'll take Baltimore.
Think we're all in Baltimore here.
Yeah.
That was easy. Oh, I know what Johnny's lock is going to be. This is a good lock. New York Jets at the LA Rams.
Darn it.
Where the Jet. This is where the Jets get their first win of the season. If I lock this one.
Do you want it?
No, give me the Rams.
Do you want it as your lock?
No, I think my lock's going to be Buffalo, Denver.
Ooh.
Wow.
Oh, so you're going
Is it?
back up. So your Buffalo is locked?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Okay, so all of our locks are done. We still got a few games left. But are we all on the Rams? Like over the Jets?
Yeah, Rams.
Rams. Everybody Rams. Next. Eagles at Cardinals. The Bird Bowl.
Yep. Give me the Cardinals.
The Bird Bowl. I'll go Arizona.
Fly,
I don't-
Cardinals, fly. I'm going with the Cardinals.
Ooh,
Donnelly?
that was a bad joke, Nick.
Tough pick.
It surprisingly kind of is, just because I don't know what. After I know New Orleans broke down a bit, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm still gonna go with Arizona on this.
So everyone's on Arizona?
I think
guess
so.
Wow. All right. This game there's not going to be unanimous this next game.
No.
Kansas City at New Orleans. Game of the week.
Wow.
Game of the
Fox
week.
game
Drew
of the
Brees. Drew Brees and Patty Mahomes.
The Saints just lost a game against the Eagles. Kansas City, though, I don't know if I trust that defense quite yet.
Real quick, Joe Arvison, thanks for playing along. His Cardinals, he's picking the Cardinals, and that's his lock.
There you go.
All right.
I'm picking Kansas City on this one.
KC for Donnelly.
I'm
You
going to
know,
go
the
with the
Saints
Saints.
need a bounce back game. I'm taking Saints in an upset here.
So Nick and Johnny with the Saints. Donnelly with the Chiefs. It's hard to go against Patrick Mahomes, and I hate to do it, but I think I'm going to go Chiefs because New Orleans, Drew Brees is coming off 4 weeks off and 11 broken ribs and a punctured lung. I
Yeah.
don't know how he's going to do coming back.
If
So-
he even actually comes back, because it's not
He is.
confirmed yet.
He is. He's scheduled to play.
He is?
Yep.
Because I
Yeah,
was
that's-
watching right before the show, and they said he wasn't confirmed yet, that they were still looking at it.
I saw breaking news today that he was cleared to play.
Well, yeah, cleared to play doesn't mean he's going to, though. They haven't
I think
decided if
he
he's
was, though.
actually.
I think he's going to play though, but I don't know how he's going to do.
I don't know.
Uh-oh. Should I start Drew Brees in fantasy?
I wouldn't.
All right.
Who's your
I mean, if you're
backup?
playing in my league, definitely do it.
You could give me Melvin Gordon and Mike Davis, so that way I have a shot.
Could.
I'm
Well,
just throwing it out there as a possibility.
well, right now I'm starting Mitchell Trubisky against Eric Koloski. So that's a win right there.
Nick, you are in 9th place or 10th, 11th place.
11th place, yeah. What are you trying to
And
say?
ninth.
What are you trying
Back
to
to
say,
pick 'em.
Johnny?
Back to pick him.
It's over.
KC at New Orleans, so we're split. So we're
Yep.
2-2 split when it comes to. So Nick and Johnny are on the Saints. Me and Donnelly on the Chiefs. Sunday night football that bounced San Francisco at Dallas. The Cleveland Brownies at the New York Football Giants.
This is terrible. Why?
Browns.
Oh, God. I want these teams to tie. I hate both these teams.
Give me the Browns.
Oh,
Give me the Browns.
I hate both of these teams.
I
Of
do.
course
too.
you do, Joe.
I do. I want both these
Well, I
teams.
just hate this game. I only hate one team.
Give me.
I'm gonna go with Cleveland.
Cleveland looked good Monday night, but they choked. They choked against the Ravens. They put up 42 and lost.
Yeah, but we're also talking about the Giants too. I mean, that's not really much to show for with them.
Oh, no, I know. So we saw that Cleveland could put up points, and the Giants laid an egg against the Cardinals last week. At home. Oh man. Can I call tie? What's the rule about ties?
That's
what was it?
plus
+5?
+5 for
No.
a tie as well, I think.
Was it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think.
I'm rooting for a tie. I don't think I'm going to call a tie. I can't pick the Giants. I can't. I'm so sour about Super Bowl 42.
Yeah, tie is +5 because Nick picked a tie earlier this season.
Wait, who did I pick a tie with?
Dallas and Philly.
Wait, who won that game?
That's great.
Philly did.
That's great.
Did you
All
call
right.
it high?
Give me Cleveland. No, fine. Give me Cleveland.
No. You called the tie.
No, I said I want a tie. Doesn't mean I'm calling a tie.
Ooh, take the
What do you
risk.
got, Johnny?
Move up.
Are you picking Cleveland?
Yes.
Okay, so we're all in Cleveland?
Yeah.
Right?
This is first.
Yeah,
We're all on the Browns. Oh my God, what is happening for 2020?
it's 2020. That's why.
Not
Next
even
up.
close either.
Monday Night Football, Steelers at the Bengals.
Give me the
1,
Steelers.
2, 3.
Philly.
Steelers.
Steelers.
Yes.
Everybody's on Pittsburgh.
And
All
that's
right,
it.
and that concludes Week 15.
There we
Nobody.
go. Good luck, gentlemen.
Week 15, where Johnny loses again.
Loser.
Jeez, tough crowd.
Well, here's the thing. Because you guys have locks, I thought about this. I chose the same team as every single one of your locks. So I would lose one, but you guys would lose two. So really, there's not really a whole lot of net gain there.
Smart.
I
See,
don't
the
know.
locks
I'm
can
pretty
make
sure
things
mine
really
is a pretty good
Well,
lock.
The only thing that I could get ahead with is if my lock actually pulls through.
What's your lock again?
Buffalo, Denver.
Buffalo.
So we'll find out tomorrow.
Same with Green Bay.
No, we don't even have to wait that long for two of your locks. They both
Yep.
play tomorrow.
Yeah.
Cool. All right,
But
so
that
concludes-
that wouldn't even do anything for his point system. He'd still only be at like 82.
yeah.
Give me some chum charity here.
That concludes Pick'em for the week. We'll be back probably next week at some point because Christmas.
Yep.
But and then the following week is the last week, but that's New Year's Eve. But we'll probably be on at some point. Anyway, time for brackets. Everybody's favorite segment, and it's me and Donnelly up first.
Ooh.
Okay. Do you guys want me to read the question?
Sure, and Nick, you do time.
Sure.
All right,
Who wants to go first, Donnelly or Joe?
go ahead, man. Go ahead. You want it?
No, it's all you.
Rock, paper, scissors for it.
I guess.
No, I'll go first. That's fine.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
Joe. Or actually, John, you're going to read the question?
Yep.
Yes. Joe, your question is hot chocolate or eggnog?
Okay.
You have 1 minute.
Joe, your time begins in 3, 2, 1, go.
So now I like both, especially this time of year. But one is hot, one's cold, and it's cold outside. So you got to go with the hot chocolate. And you can add so much to the hot chocolate. You can add chocolate syrup, little marshmallows, big marshmallows. You can add whipped cream. Not so much. Yes, eggnog, you can make an alcoholic beverage, but, and yes, I know eggnog as well as the Christmas staple drink, but at the same time, hot chocolate, though, you can have it hot. I even get frozen hot chocolates at Dunkin' Donuts, and they're delicious. So as much as eggnog is probably a fan favorite for Christmas time, you cannot go wrong with the hot chocolate in a big old glass, warmed up under a blanket, watching a Christmas movie, and maybe a bowl of popcorn and all your friends and family. It is a great drink, the hot chocolate.
Right on time, Joseph.
I always worry about the time as I get closer. I see Nick counting down. All right, Donald, you're up.
All right, Donnelly, your time begins in 3, 2, 1, go.
I will have to agree with Joe on this one in a certain sense. Hot chocolate is definitely a better decision. Eggnog, it's really hit or miss. Some people can make it taste really good. Others, it's awful. But there's not many people that actually make it good. So hot chocolate, you really can't go wrong. It's pretty easy to make. But in addition to what Joe said, you can still add alcohol to hot chocolate, and it still tastes great. And you can still have a great time with your family with some spiked hot chocolate. There's just so much you can do with it, and it just tastes so good. And it's 10 times better than anything that you can ever do with eggnog, because there's really not much that you can do with it. It's just eggnog. You just add the alcohol and whatever in the eggnog mix, and you're done. But hot chocolate, you have so many things with the marshmallows, the whipped cream, the alcohol, everything. It's great.
For the record, too, Joe Arvison chimed in. Eggnog is terrible, as a Charles Barkley reference. So thank you, Joe.
Who's Charles Barkley? Oh, is that
Some
the guy
guy-
from golf?
Some guy on TNT.
That's the guy from golf.
That nobody watches.
Nick,
All
I'm
right,
gonna
score. What do you guys think for scores?
Yeah.
I'll go first. Guys, solid arguments. Well, it's not really an argument when you agree on the same thing, but it's like I'm going to base off this solely facts alone. I don't give the slight edge to Joe here. Joe actually made a compelling argument here. Joe gives, they were both really great arguments, so I'll give Joe a 4, Donnelly a 3.
Okay.
So Donnelly and Joe, I thought you guys both make valid arguments, but Joe, you were just a roller coaster, man. You were an absolute roller coaster. I was listening to the whole thing, agreeing with you, disagreeing with you at points, just trying to figure out where to jump around. Ultimately, I felt like they were just. Okay, let me say this first off on eggnog. I like eggnog better, and there's more that you can do with eggnog than just add alcohol. You can also add cinnamon, right? You could add whipped cream.
Yep.
You could do more with eggnog than just that. And I feel like with hot chocolate, there just wasn't and you had me convinced, and then you just lost your argument in the middle of it. Donnelly, you made a very good point, which I think pushed you over the edge, was that you can put alcohol in hot chocolate, right? The only thing that would have made your argument better is if it was more readily available. Joe, I'm going to give you a 2.
Oh,
Donnelly, I'm
have
going
to
to give you a 5.
I know. I saw the comment. Joe Arvison, Johnny, this is a roller coaster scoring announcement.
So Donnelly,
Wait, so what did you give us? What did you give us for scores, Johnny?
5 and 2.
in favor of Donnelly.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, man.
All
Sorry.
right. That's okay. That's a solid argument. So now between Nick and Johnny, I will read the question if Donnelly wants to do time.
I would love to.
Oh, thanks, man.
I'll go
Actually,
first.
I don't. That was being sarcastic.
I know your sarcasm by now.
I shot
Well,
him
you'll
first.
still do time. All right, Nick's up first.
Yep.
Okay. Nick and Johnny, your question is for Christmas dinner, which is better, turkey or ham? You have a minute. And your time begins in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so it's has to be the Christmas ham, right? The Christmas ham is so delicious. You can have it with so many side dishes. I just don't want, turkey, because turkey, that's for Thanksgiving, man. I mean, you just have to go with the Christmas ham. It's an absolute tradition to have Christmas ham on Christmas Day. You can have it with so many things. It goes so well with other stuff. And that's why I say Christmas ham. That's it. That's all I need. It's
You
so
never need-
obvious. It's
You
so
never
obvious.
need the full minute.
You had 25 seconds left.
It's so obvious, though. Who has turkey on Christmas Day? That's for Thanksgiving, brother.
I think a lot of
People
people.
that like turkey.
It's for Thanksgiving. Come on, man.
All right,
right.
Johnny.
Johnny, you're up. Your time begins in 3.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so I'm gonna also go with ham, but I'm gonna go for different reasons. I do agree with the whole
Thank you.
Thanksgiving and turkey thing. I mean, but when you watch a lot of Christmas movies, when you see a lot of Christmas, portraits, you see a lot of people celebrating Christmas, you don't see Christmas turkey. I mean, you do for some of them, but what you see is the beautiful, voluptuous Christmas ham, and it's a staple for Christmas. I mean, it's so delicious. I mean, when you think of really a ham in general, you really only associate it with Christmas time, right? So, I mean, for that reason, I think you have to go with Christmas ham.
Okay. Good argument. How much time did he have left?
Roughly 8 seconds,
Oh, okay. Good timing.
give or take.
Alan, you want to score first?
Sure. Nick, not enough in your argument. You had 25 seconds. You get round up to 30. It was pretty lackluster. But I mean, you're right. Nobody has turkey. It's for Thanksgiving. So I'll give you 3. Johnny, I like yours. I would give you a 5, but you just kind of talked about how everybody else in Hollywood does it. And we all know that Hollywood movies are all staged. It's all, it's all the cliche things. That's what I was getting at. But your point's still valid, so you get a 4.
All right, my scoring. Nick, good argument. Ham, I would have went ham for both of the arguments' sake too. The thing is, Nick, you didn't use all your time, man. You didn't use all your time. But I'll give you a 4. I'll give you a 4. You could have had a 5 solid if you just used all your time. Johnny, you basically copied Nick. You threw in a couple different side notes of it. Not what I was looking for. A 3 for you.
So we're tied.
Yep.
Okay,
However,
I will say that I would give Joe Arvison a 5 for his answer.
I did see. I was just about to say
it was actually legitimate.
Joe
And his
Arvison
only
said.
took about 5 seconds to state, and I would have given him a 5 just for that.
Joe Arvison said Chinese food is the best option. Chinese food.
So, if I'm being honest, I would probably go with prime rib out of those 2 options. But
Prime rib. So Joe also followed up. Nick, do you add pineapple to your ham?
No, I don't.
No. Okay.
Then
Well,
you're
Johnny-
downgraded to a 2.
Johnny, do you add pineapple to your
you
ham?
got downgraded to a 2. Yes.
No, the scoring was already official.
No.
Yeah.
No. Judges,
Joe Arvison asked a question from the
think about
crowd.
it over again.
Does not affect. Either way, we're
Not
off to the
effective
tiebreak.
scoring.
Either way, we're off to the tiebreak. 30 seconds each. Johnny starts on this one. The question. So in life, there's condiments and there's cell phones. Which could you live without?
Or computer. Cell phone / computer.
Cell phone / computer. Fine. If you want to group those together, or condiments. Which could you live without, and which couldn't you live without? You want to say what you couldn't live without?
I mean, I feel like in 30 seconds I can, say what I need to say.
All right, then Johnny, you're up first. Donnelly, tell him when his time is.
I will.
What are you looking
And
at?
1, go.
Okay, so if I had the choice between no condiments and no cell phone computer, obviously I would go with no condiments. Not that condiments are bad, but I mean, cell phone and computer, I don't want to be overly too reliant on technology, but it's just such a great way to connect to people and connect to the world. And I feel like it just makes our lives so much more convenient than condiments do. I mean, really, if you think about it, you only need condiment. I mean, you can eat chicken for the rest of your life,
3,
not need any condiments
2,
for that.
1.
Cell phone computer, you can't replace it.
All right, Nick, you're up.
All right.
Go.
I'm ready. What?
Go.
Now.
All right.
I'm just kidding. Hold on. And go.
Okay. So I would also have to agree with Johnny saying no. I cannot live with any condiments, especially one condiment that I really like, and that is ketchup. I cannot live with that. I cannot live without ketchup on my burgers, on my hot dogs, on my you name it. I mean,
2,
you know,
1.
yeah.
Done.
Done.
Oh man, boy! If only we saw Nick's argument coming from a mile away.
First off, can I make a note real quick?
Sure.
It's not going to change your score.
That wasn't my argument, Nick. I said
Yeah.
I would rather.
Oh my God.
Thing you said. My argument is that I'd rather live with no condiments than no cell phone or computer.
I'm gonna go with my scoring before I forget what I gotta say. As much as I was gonna, talk down on Johnny's argument, I kind of can at this point. But I will say that I was looking for a little bit different argument on yours, and it wasn't quite all there. So you get a 4, Nick. Again, I mean, we saw it coming, but that doesn't mean anything. But you just had a terrible way of going about it, so you get a 1.
Oh man.
That's right.
Nick, I don't think my score really matters for you losing this one. Johnny, good arguments on both you and Nick. And Nick, you didn't really give me much wiggle room unless I give you like a 5. I'm not giving you a 5. I'll give you both 3s. I'll keep it the same though.
All right, Johnny, you move on.
The first point he makes is that, I agree with Johnny. And it's not even the same point that I make.
And then he completely disagrees.
Both a 3.
But I'll give you both 3. So Johnny advances to championship. Me and Nick are 3rd place. Johnny, read us a question.
Nick, you know what? Donnelly, I'm going to let you choose which one of them goes first because they both went first in their first round.
I want to hear Nick's on this one first.
Okay. The 3rd place game, starting off with Nick. You have 60 seconds. What is the best Christmas tradition?
Time begins.
Hold on, I have to begin time. Sorry.
Stanley's not doing much on time.
I forgot Nick was keeping time on the last one.
Yeah. 3,
2, 1.
So there are a lot of Christmas traditions out there, from opening presents on Christmas Day with your family or having Christmas dinner with also family. But the tradition that I like the most is Secret Santa, whether it be among family or friends. Secret Santa, just like, the mystery of having, not knowing who's going to give you a gift, or whether it's you keeping a secret from that person. I mean, it's just a really great tradition, and especially among friends, you can have a lot of fun with it amongst your friends too. I mean, it's not just your family; you can be amongst your friends. So, I'm participating in 2 Secret Santas this year, and I really love it. And you know,
Okay.
Joe, your
All
time
right.
starts in 3, 2, 1.
So I agree with Nick, the fact that there's so many different aspects. You could pick a number of different things when it comes to Christmas. But I guess group all mine into one when it comes to just the Christmas spirit. I know it's not a physical thing, but just the build up to Christmas, the fact that after Thanksgiving, it's just right away. Some people are even before Thanksgiving that it's a Christmas spirit. But just watching Christmas movies, putting up the tree, doing stockings, gift giving, like you said, Nick, Secret Santa, seeing family, seeing friends, and just a whole different like bright nights. I mean, just seeing the lights on houses. I mean, it's all encompassed into one. And I know that's kind of not just the best one tradition, but just looking forward to Christmas, just the buildup of the day and enjoying the day, no matter who you're with. I think it's the best part of Christmas. And I think just it doesn't have to be a physical thing. You helping out the community and anything too is the best part of the holiday.
Donnelly, give them your scores.
This would be fun. So I didn't like either of the arguments.
I'm gonna say the same thing.
Nice.
You took
So
the words right out of my mouth.
Tough crowd, Nick.
God.
So I'm sorry, Nick, but yours not really much of a tradition. I consider traditions of something that you do for many, many years, usually stemming from childhood. I never did a Secret Santa till I was like my mid-20s. I don't think I even heard of it until like I was in my 20s. And so I don't really consider that much of a tradition. It is fun to do. I love doing it. So I'll give you a 2. Joe, you're not much better, so don't get your hopes up. As much as I do like Christmas spirit, because it's just a great time of the year, I don't think that's really categorized as a tradition. It's not something people just kind of do. It's just kind of how people act.
Fair enough.
So I'll give you a 3. Valid argument, but poor execution.
Okay. Fair enough.
Wow.
Wait. Before you grade, what would you guys have said?
Well, I mean, I was just gonna mention this in my point. You really could have gone a lot of ways for that. I mean,
it's really hard to just pick like
but
one
he
specific
went
one.
with something that, like Donnelly, I've never done before, and I don't think it's super common. Not that it's bad, but it's just not common enough for me, and I don't really like the explanation for it. Joe, I for a second thought, well, that's a pretty good point, but then I thought it's kind of a weak answer, very general answer. That's like saying, "Oh, what's your favorite movie?" Well, all movies are good.
All right. What's your score?
I love the climax. I love the resolution. I love the build up.
All right. What's your score?
The only thing that I thought was good, which saves you from getting a 1, is the fact that giving back to the community, which I think is a very overlooked part of the Christmas spirit, because really it's more so about giving than receiving. For me, I love giving presents so much. I love shopping for presents, and I love giving presents so much. It brings me so much excitement, which, Nick, you were missing in your argument. Like, if you had just said giving somebody a Secret Santa gift, I probably would have given you more points. But God, man. Nick, I'd give you a 2. Joe, I'd give you a 1.
So we're tied?
No.
Yeah, I'm still gonna give you a 1. I thought about it. I was gonna give you.
No, I gave you guys 2 and 3.
Oh, so I win.
Yeah. No.
No. So we tied.
No, you don't. You lose.
What?
No.
2 and 1 is
You
3,
gave-
3
you
and
gave
2 is
Joe a
So
5.
three.
Nick got a 2, and then he got a
Oh, wait.
2.
You can't add.
Joe got a 3, and then I got a 1.
So
So it's 4 to
tie.
4.
So I said.
Okay, so let's do a tiebreaker. All right, this is your tiebreaker question.
I thought we had good
This time,
argument.
I'm gonna let Joe
I will
go.
agree on what Joe Arvison said. So if you had said something like what he said and
But-
explained it pretty well, you would have gotten like 4 or 5 points.
So Joe said cutting down the Christmas tree with the family, and also Nick, you look like a Grinch with the green shirt.
Joe, you're losing brownie points with me very fast.
Oh my!
Good thing you guys aren't
That is
choosing points for each
so
other.
funny. All right.
Right. So what's the tie break?
So here's my question for all of you, or for both of you. And Joe, you're gonna go first for this one.
Oh, great.
When do you open Christmas gifts?
Okay.
All at the same time, or one person at a time? You have 30. I'll give you a little bit for each of you to think of your answers.
Okay.
3.
Out of mine.
Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
So every year we have the tradition at my parents' house is that we would open them all, at the same time, but kind of one at a time. Basically, we'd all grab a gift and wait for the other person to open it, though. But it would all go, simultaneously. Oh, what did you get? Oh, what did you get? And kind of ask around the room because my aunt and uncle would come over and there'd be 6 of us. So, it's a lot of people for the gifts throughout the morning. But I think overall, though, definitely all at the same time makes it fun.
I'm sorry, I really like Joe's.
When they
Joe
show up in
Arvison.
the Amazon box.
Doesn't even make it to Christmas Day, just opens it.
Go ahead,
Joe,
Nick.
On point today. I
Go
love
ahead,
it.
Nick.
Oh my gosh, Nick, your time starts in 3, 2, 1.
Joe, I'd have to disagree with you. In my family tradition, we open them up one by one, and that way it's like lessens the chaos a little bit. It's sort of more formal, and stuff like that. So it's really one at a time that really makes it special. You get the oohs and the ahs and all that stuff. So yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to go first because Joe, I have a question, and I think this is what you're trying to get at is that, you have like let's say you have 4 people in a room, right?
Yeah.
You go, Joe, and then your sister, and then your mom, and then your dad, and then you go back to you, right? That's what you mean?
Yeah, kind of
So
thing.
that's kind of one at a time, like
Right, but we all pick up a gift and we all have one. Like it's we can open it up simultaneously, but then we ask each other, "Oh, what did you get?" Kind of overlook. So that's why it was kind of hard for me to answer because there's so many of us. There, Nick, I know you have a big family too, but with the 6 of us, with my aunt and uncle coming over every Christmas, it works out just a little different, just because we do it that way.
Well, I don't like that at all. I have a, we do it one at a time, and I think it's good for us to, start off with small gifts and then progressively move up to the larger gifts. Sometimes we start off with like the family gifts that we give each other, like as siblings or, for the parents. Joe, I feel like that just gets a little chaotic. And Nick, right now you just look like the Grinch. It's scary. You look
Not
so
even
sad
smiling
over
for the
there.
past like 20 minutes.
You're like sitting. You're not even sitting, upright. You're just sitting in the back. I'm sorry. Can you? There we go. That's much better. So now I can make my points. Okay, Joe. Like I said, I feel like that's a little chaotic. But you're right. It does make it quicker. So I would probably give you a 3, even though I don't agree with it, just based off of the merit of your argument. And you could have explained it a little better.
Understood.
Nick, this is exactly how we do it in our family. You explained it very well. And I think you made a good point. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you a 4.
Okay.
Donnelly, that's where you go.
So both terrible point. I'm just kidding. No, it was actually pretty close on this one. I am the opposite with of you, Johnny. I do it kind of the same way as Joe does, and with a little bit of variance. But for the most part, we just kind of open them all together and go, like, hey, I got this and I got that. But for the most part, it's just kind of like almost like a free for all. But I do like what you and Nick were talking about. One at a time. I mean, very good way of going about it. So I'm gonna give the edge to Joe with a 4 and Nick a 3.
That's another tie.
Another tie. So I still have a list of questions.
Can't catch a break.
Don't worry, I've got questions
What
pulled
do you
up.
want me to do? I've been competing against you. How do you think I feel?
All right, Nick, you're gonna go first again. I've got another question pulled up. I'll
Triple
give you
tie,
5
babe.
seconds to think about it.
Gotta have one at least a week
Wow.
or once a month.
When do you take Christmas decorations down?
Ooh,
Okay.
this is a good one.
This is a good one.
I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to think of your answer, and then I'm gonna count you down.
Nick's going first.
Yep.
Tough question. We didn't even have these in the script. I like how we're coming up with these Christmas questions.
Oh, I looked it up anticipating a tie earlier.
Hey, Nick, you ready?
Ready.
Your time
Like
starts.
Joe
in 3.
says, show some emotion, Nick.
Donnelly, I'm counting down. But also, yes, Nick. 3, 2, 1.
All right, so my family's going to disagree with this one because they always take down their Christmas decorations really late in like February or March, but it should be the day after Christmas. It should be the day after Christmas where you take down the Christmas decorations, you take down the tree, all that fun stuff. It's some people leave it out like my family in February or March, but it should be the day after Christmas.
Okay.
Can I ask one question, Nick?
The last thing
One simple question.
Uh-huh.
Do you guys have a fake or a real tree?
We always have had a real tree up until this year. We had a fake tree.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
Okay.
Joe, your time starts in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, when we always take down our Christmas ornaments and Christmas decorations is always January 1st. I feel like December is the month for Christmas. And so once the new month hits, you can take down all the decorations, whether it's January 1st or just the first weekend too, if you're busy January 1st or whatever. And I think to keep them up through the month of December is always nice, especially just the week between the holidays of Christmas and New Year's. Oh, am I good? I wasn't sure on time. Okay. I made my point.
That's my fault. I'm not going to hold it against you. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Well,
fine.
I said New Year's. So I don't know if that's New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, but New Year's.
Okay.
I think we know what you're
Donnelly, you want to go first?
Sure. So, based on my one quick little question, which validated some things, how the hell do you keep a tree alive all the way till March?
It's amazing.
lot of
It's
water.
only supposed to last for like 2 or 3 weeks.
It's amazing, man.
Make
I don't know
that
how we
last to
do it,
March?
but
Dang.
That's funny.
Anyway, that is not included in the in my points. I just really wanted to know that because it's a really long time.
it's amazing. Amazing how nature could
Oh my
convert
god.
itself.
I can barely get ours to last like 3 weeks.
Right. Your house isn't burned down from how dry that tree is.
Exactly.
Don't tell me about
But
it.
anyways, that's a really long time to have Christmas decorations up. But I mean, to each their own. I am different. My family is completely different from both of you guys. But I don't necessarily disagree too much. I do think March is a little too long, but your argument saying that you wish it was the day after, I didn't like that so much. The day after just kind of seems like it was just for the sake of Christmas Day. But so I'm going to give you a 3. Joe, I liked yours that, you extend it through the whole month. It's great. Having that one day that you take it down, that's not the day after Christmas or, I like that. So I'll give you a 4.
I'm sorry, Donnelly. When I heard that bark, I thought that was a man laughing. Just perfect timing. So, Nick, much better than your previous arguments, but I feel like, I want to give you an extra point for throwing your, not anything against them, but you threw your family right under the bus and said, well, they don't do it until February or March. But also at the same time, you claim no responsibility for it. So I feel like I have to negate the point that I gave you.
Wait, Nick, can I ask you just a separate question that has nothing to do with the scoring or anything? Just kind of curiosity, like Donnelly with the tree.
Sure.
Do you keep the Christmas tree and the decorations through St. Patty's Day then?
No, that's way too.
Oh, okay. Well, you said March.
So they're out at least
I would
until
say
March.
the latest that we ever had it up was like just before St. Patrick's Day in March.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering.
A long
He runs
time.
the road race
That's like
while
one-
he's taking the Christmas.
All right, Johnny, what's your scores?
The thought of Christmas decorations being up until Valentine's Day makes me cringe so much. I would have liked to see you take a little bit more responsibility. If you had said we don't take Christmas decorations down, I feel like that would have been fine. But also right after Christmas, dude, like you gotta celebrate the time with your family. You gotta keep them up until January at least. I agree with Joe. Not New Year's Day, but like right after New Year's Day. Like when things are back in tempo. Joe, I'm gonna give you a 4. Nick, I'm gonna give you a 3.
Okay. Whew. That was close. Triple tiebreak, Nick. Well done for arguments.
But Nick, in lieu of the holiday spirit, I'm only gonna mute you after 10 seconds of your final thought. Okay?
So what is that?
Joe Armisen.
So I'm gonna give you a 10-second final thought.
Johnny.
10-second final thought.
Joe Armisen. They keep the mistletoe up through Valentine's Day. Respectable. That's well played.
Bravo.
All right, Nick. Fourth place this week.
Oh God.
You're muted except for 10 seconds of your final thought. Is that what was decided?
Yep.
Oh my.
Okay. So Nick is muted.
Yep.
And the championship question. And Nick, you can still participate as always with the final scoring. Championship, which we wanted to make it a good one. So the championship question, best sports moment of 2020.
Oh, we said best moment.
I know, but
Best
it's a
moment.
sports show.
Okay.
But it wasn't specified as sports, just like the rest of our questions were not sports specified.
Well, they were all the other questions were Christmas. So best Christmas moment.
Well, I did my research on best moment of 2020.
All right, fine. We'll keep it best moment. I'll do time.
I did not
since-
do my research.
Since Nick is muted, I'll do time. Who wants to go first? Which John?
Donnelly, you go first.
Okay.
Donnelly, your time begins in 3, 2, 1, go.
So I'm going to lose this, but anyways, the best moment was probably the first about 2 months of 2020. I had a great time. I was skiing, having a good time. It was fun. School sucked, but it was great. No worries. Nobody was wearing masks. We weren't restricted on going places. It was just a great time. And that was probably the best moment when everybody was still just running around doing whatever they wanted to do. And that's it.
You still have 20 seconds. You guys are terrible at the minute thing.
I told you I was going to lose this one.
You don't have anything for another 15 seconds?
Not really, other than the fact that, everything from midway March and on was just terrible.
What does this show become?
All right. Well, you still got 5 seconds. Last thought,
And
and you're
I
done.
don't like COVID.
Okay.
Snake podcast, everybody. Do you have
Are
anything
we a
more?
sports podcast?
So next up, Johnny.
It reminded me of a pretty funny moment. There's a blooper reel from The Office where Toby walks through the door and Michael goes, "Hey Toby, why could you close the door on your way out?" As soon as he walks in.
All right, Johnny. Your time begins in 3, 2, 1, go.
So I'm gonna give my 2 favorites. My second best favorite was starting this podcast with you guys. It's been such a treat for you.
What a kiss up. What's your other point?
And for all the fans, it's been such a joy to be able to do it. Number 1 was the day that I found out that Nick got his full-time job. I am so happy for you, and I am so happy for how hard you've worked to get to this point. I mean, it's been such a long time coming, and I know it's not where you expected to be, but I'm still very, very happy for you. We've been through a lot over the years. Not
10
us,
seconds.
but we've. It's so great to see you get that full-time job. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations.
Wait a minute. You researched that? You said before your argument you researched.
That's not a sports moment. That's why.
You said you researched.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be like, oh, what's your best sports moment? Nick getting a job. Like, it's
Oh my God.
a full-time job. I'm sorry.
Wow. All right, Nick.
This is on air.
What are your scores? What about for Donnelly?
I knew it.
Nick is the most extreme voter on the planet.
What?
No.
How about for Johnny?
He's so biased.
The 5.
I'm not mad, but he's biased. Or he's just butthurt that I gave him such terrible scores today.
Oh, that's really funny. Sorry, Donnelly, you're not going to win this one.
I told you I wasn't gonna win it.
All right. So, I don't know. 2 and a 1. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't really matter the score. Johnny, you win. Well done. Oh, that was really funny. You're such a kiss up though for my favorite part of 2020 was the podcast.
I'm here. I play to win.
Yeah, you did. That was well done. Oh God, that's funny. Nick, I had no idea he was going to use you for your. All right. Well, Johnny, you win, and you decide the order of final thoughts.
Nick, I'm going to give you 10 seconds in the spirit of the holiday season and let you go first.
Very nice of you. Nick,
Your time starts in 3.
Oh, there you go. Got to unmute.
Yeah, I
Hold
got
on.
it.
Okay, he's good.
I'm good.
All right.
Are you going to time him?
At the end of it, you got to mute him, all right?
Yep.
Donnelly, you ready on the mute?
Yep.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
I just want to say I'm very blessed to have a full-time job. Merry Christmas, everyone. Very grateful for you all too.
Oh, that was very nice.
I was hoping he was gonna be mid word. I could just mute him.
All right, Johnny, who up next?
Joe, why don't you go next?
Okay. No, my final thought this week, hockey related. No, I'm just playing. Yeah, it's definitely just the season of Christmas. I'm very thankful to be doing the show with you guys. And I know it's not Thanksgiving. It's obviously Christmas, but the gift that we can keep giving the fans, keep doing the show. I know through tough times of COVID, tough times 2020 overall, we continue the show basically every week. And it's been a lot of fun. Times are changing though, and Johnny will give more input on his. Oh, we lost Nick, but regarding Nick's status of full time, there is kind of the inside joke for everyone here, except nobody knows that's watching. Nick got a full time job, and so his presence on the show may not be as often as say me or Donnelly, and Johnny's presence may be limited as well because you both got full time jobs. And I'll let you tell the details in your final thought. But we're gonna miss you guys on each week. Hopefully, we can still do it every week because we love doing it with you guys. You know, debating, arguing, the silliness of the show, the format. Like we started this just for fun, and it's carried on throughout the whole time, and it's been a lot of fun. And you know, things are changing, and I mean, Donnelly, you're 2 hours behind us. Johnny, you're gonna be moving in spring, and Nick is still muted as always. And it just I don't even know where Nick went, but that would have been more funny if I could see his reaction.
He's probably still there.
He probably has the same grin on his face, or just no emotion.
But I love doing a show. I look forward to doing a show with you guys. Hopefully, you know, the four of us can continue it, even if it's not weekly, bi-weekly, whatever it might be. Johnny's leaving. So, but it kind of goes with my final thought that we don't have Nick and Johnny here. That's just going to be me and Donnelly.
Johnny is still there.
So Johnny in the very corner, but he's on his way out, just like in real life. Because Johnny, I'll segue to you. Probably your final thought, right?
I'm gonna go to Donnelly first.
Okay.
I'll go last.
Okay.
My final thought is your final thought. Just kidding. No, I got mine is some good news and some bad news. And bad news is that potentially two of our fellow people are leaving for hopefully a short period of time. Maybe some intermittent times that they might be on the show. So that's sad to see. But the good news, hockey's coming back. They reached a tentative deal. I'm excited about that because basketball sucks. I don't like it. And so I'm happy that they are tentatively going for a 56-game season starting on the 13th. So I'm kind of excited about that. I haven't really gotten like deep into hockey very much. I'm hoping to pay a little bit more attention this year. I mean, I'm not going to be as knowledgeable on it as I am with the NFL, but I'm hoping to get a little bit more on that one. Johnny?
Okay. You know, it's been a long year for a lot of people, you know, with coronavirus and quarantining, and a lot of people, you know, we as individuals and, you know, us as Americans and the rest of the world have just been through so much. But, you know, starting the show has been one of the best parts of the year for you guys, or for me, you know, and it's just such a joy to be able to come on and be able to do this every week. And within the past couple of weeks, I've started a full-time and part-time job, which has kept me very busy, and it will keep me very busy moving forward. But I still hope that I can be able to do the show with you guys and still be a very, very huge impact of it. But in the meantime, just, you know, coming on here, looking forward to this every single week and getting to talk sports and, you know, talk about random stuff like these Christmas themed episodes. I mean, it's just been such a joy, you know, and I love you guys, and I love all of you, the fans, and, you know, I just hope that all of you enjoy the holiday season, whatever you celebrate. Please stay safe.
Yes.
You know, remember that it is about giving, and there is a lot that we can still give this year. You know, just hold your loved ones close, and, you know, enjoy the holiday season for what it is.
Absolutely. Definitely. Real quick, Joe Arvison, we see your comments. Appreciate him. He said he'll fill in whenever, you know, we'll have him. Appreciate that. You know, you are a very big part of the show, Joe, based on the fact all the comments and that you watch the whole show. So we appreciate that more than you know. And he also said Nick had to leave to go to work. So I don't know if that's true, but we did lose Nick, and I don't know where he went. But I don't know if his internet stopped or he cut out or what. But this was probably one of the last shows for a while that we'll have the four of us. We're obviously going to try. We're going to try to have the four of us as much as we can, because we love doing it. We love having rehearsal before the show, and we going live, and I can't imagine how many recordings we have, just bloopers to go through. That's just fun. It's just
hopefully Nick didn't delete all those.
The 20 minutes of this recording before we actually went live.
Yeah, technical issues. Even though we were supposed to go on at 8:30, we went on at 9. It's always fun. It's a lot of memories. Through 2020, through one of the toughest years, like you said, Johnny, for everybody, we can look back at least, and the people that we've had on the show too can look back and be like, hey, we did this sports podcast, for each week, every other week, for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and that's hard to do. But we had plenty to talk about. It was never boring. It was always fun. And whether we do a show next week or the next one in 2021. Oh, there's Nick.
Don't worry, we will be here every week.
We will be here. Me and Donnelly. Me and Donnelly more so.
Yeah. Me and Joe will be handling most of our shows from here on out.
Yeah, we'll be holding down the fort for you boys. We couldn't thank Nick and Johnny play a very big part in the show. I want to give them the credit where credit's due. Nick, you edit all the shows for YouTube. You always Joe Iverson, he got fired.
Well, he got a new job, so now he's fired from the podcast, and same with Johnny. So
but
you guys
Nick,
are never allowed on the show again.
But Nick, I want to give credit where credit's due. You update the show, you put the intro in on YouTube, you do all the work, and hopefully you can continue to edit it for us because we don't know how to edit. But to have you be a part of the show still is always what we want. And Johnny, your schedule's all over the place. It's crazy with not one but two jobs. But you've always been a big part of the show with the script. You've always formatted and hosted the show. Now me or Donnelly have to host, which is scary. And it'll be
God.
We'll do our best to hold down the fort for you boys once you're back. We'll try to always coordinate with you guys because we're always in the group chat and stuff like that. But without you guys, it wouldn't have been a show along with me and Donnelly. So we want to thank you guys very much. And Nick, here, you know what? My Christmas gift to Nick. Unmute him for this. Nick, are you there? I give him a chance and he doesn't take it.
Hey, I'm here.
There he is.
Oh.
Really?
Yay!
Hey, Nick, where'd you go?
No, I just had to run to the bathroom real quick. So.
Wouldn't be a show unless there's a bathroom break. All right. But no, like I said, Nick, you didn't really miss much of them. But it's just a lot of fun to do the show with all of you guys and the special guests we've had along the way. So,
well, I will say this. I think it's very self-evident at this point that we will not be having a show next week to celebrate Christmas with our families.
Well, you and Nick may not. You guys may be at work. Me and Donnelly may still hold down the fort. We may do a two-man.
You still have a show on Christmas. We'll see.
We'll have it Christmas morning.
On Christmas.
Christmas morning.
Welcome to the Sports Take Podcast. This is me opening my first gift. Let's see what I got.
There's a delay. There's
another pair of socks.
Bracket question: which gift sucks more, gift cards or socks?
But no, Joe Arvison already said he's in. Our people will talk to your people, Joe, and it'll be good. We'll still try to get 4 people because we love doing brackets. We love having the round table, square table discussion, and it's just a lot of fun. It's we'll figure out all the key roles. We've done recordings, we've done live, we've done comments section. There's a lot that goes into the show, and I'm very appreciative that we kind of have divvied up every role along all of us to be able to do it each week.
It's been a ride, and it's not over, but it's gonna slow down a little bit.
But for now, Nick, you are muted. You lost, but it wouldn't be a show unless Nick got muted at least once.
Nick, do you have anything to say?
He's muted.
He's still muted. Just hold up.
All right.
How excited are you for the full-time job? Scale of 1 to 10 for fingers. Nope, just fingers. You're muted. You're muted. How excited are you for full-time? How sad are you going to be?
Ooh, they're lucky that
How sad are you going to be that you're going to miss the show? Scale of 1 to 10. Oh.
a 5.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Joe
okay.
Arbison also said team mute Nick. So, but for
All right.
Johnny, write it out in that impressive handwriting. Good call, Joe. See, he's
I saw the cursive.
You still have the cursive?
Yep.
Nice. See, we've had a lot of inside jokes along the way too. I mean, it's been a lot of fun. Like things that carried over from show to show.
Like Nick's bad handwriting.
Yeah. And just a lot of things. And what's fun is that we get to start off the year in January with shows. Last January, we weren't doing this. So we'll be able to continue the tradition into 2021.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that,
But
that
in
is
the
it.
meantime, oh, sorry. Go ahead, Don.
No, I was gonna say that's it for our show.
That's it.
Yeah.
They want us off the air now. We've been on for like 2 hours.
In
Yeah.
the meantime, like we said, happy holidays.
Yes.
Enjoy the holiday season. Whatever holiday you celebrate, be sure to spend it with your loved ones. We love you all. I love you guys. Thank you for 25 episodes. Here's to, probably like 10 more.
Yeah, give it to
But until the next one, be sure to keep watching sports. And thank you so much for watching.
Happy holidays, everybody. Stay safe.
Yeah.